He's a builder, he's an author, he's a Hall of Shamer.
And now he's an inmate too. Tonight, problem solver Rob Wolchek has the latest on the builder with a lot of unhappy customers.
Look who's going to jail. It's Timo Sessions. Man, it's been rough for Timo. Last week in the Hall of Shame, this week in the Slammer. And in between, a bunch of new unhappy customers telling me their stories of Timo ripping them off. Like Charles.
This is your retirement money, and you can't afford to lose this.
No, we can't.
Hisham.
He has not delivered any material whatsoever.
And Sylvester.
Out of all the guys in Michigan, in the state of Michigan, I found the biggest scumbag of them all. That's kind of crazy, right?
Last week I introduced you to Timo, real name Artemio Sessions. Timo runs a company called Garages R Us. Timo talked a bunch of people into signing contracts with this company. People like Judith, a single mom who hired him after her garage burned down. Timo talked her out of 10 grand to rebuild, but instead, he took the money, knocked down the debris from her old garage, and left it piled in her yard, the same yard her 5 kids have to play in.
He took all my money. Now I don't have money to build another garage.
You met Robert, a disabled trucker who Timo talked out of 10 grand. He at least got some work done, but Timo never came back to finish the job.
So what do you think I should say to this Timo when I go talk to him?
You a scumbag, dude.
Then there's Kevin and Amy, who paid Timo 60 grand for a big project. This is as far as the project got. The wind blew and the trusses fell, and Timo disappeared.
I just want him stopped. You know, he steal money from people.
And finally, Bill and Tandra. After giving Timo 50 grand and waiting a year for him to complete the project, they gave up and hired someone else to finish the work. While his customers were looking for him, Timo reinvented himself as an author named Temi Fabiano. He self-published a book. Not even I saw that coming. Timo has a long criminal history, including fraud crimes in Florida, a felony domestic violence conviction in Michigan, and DUIs in both states. So many, he can't even apply for a driver's license until 2024. And he's been busted for no license a bunch of times. But Timo didn't want to talk about that or his sad customers. Lots of people saw the story, like Sylvester.
Woke up, looked at the news, same guy, right there in the flesh.
Sylvester gave Timo 10 grand earlier in the summer to build a garage at his Mount Clemens home.
It's been about a month and a half now since he's bailed out. We haven't heard a word from him.
The materials Sylvester paid for are rotting away. Charles paid Timo to extend the garage on his Saline home in December. Timo said he'd get to it as soon as the weather got nice.
I texted him in June 3 times a day, and he finally texted me back, I'll be there July 1st.
But he never showed up. He says Timo pulled the permit, but never paid the city.
So basically, you gave him close to $8,000 and he did nothing.
Right.
Same thing happened to Hisham.
I went to the city hall and looked up the permit, and they told me, yes, indeed, he applied for a permit, but he had not paid for it.
Hisham moved to Oregon. He hired Timo to build a garage at Pontiac at his rental home. As you can see, nothing's been done at all. Hisham saw my story and realized he'd been duped as well.
I was surprised about how many people he had scammed.
More victims, more trouble for Timo.
Timo's in court because he was caught once again driving without a license. But he was so unruly when he was stopped, the cops had to tase him several times before he was taken into custody.
Timo bonded out, pled guilty to driving on a suspended license and being a disorderly person. 2 misdemeanors with 93 maximum day sentences.
You know, after I did that story, I got more people calling me that say you took their money and you didn't do any work at all. Okay, we'll be waiting for you.
Timo hides in the bathroom until his case is heard.
We have the cameras here. We have the Hall of Shame after him.
Timo's lawyer says he's under a lot of stress right now. But Timo's hired himself a driver and hasn't had a drink in 8 years. And Timo tells the judge he's working so hard, he doesn't even take vacations. Interesting, because just last week he was driving, and in August, he posted a picture of himself on vacation, holding what looks like a beer can. Timo claims he's trying to be a better person and is making amends. Judge David Law isn't buying it as he looks at the transcript of Timo's latest arrest.
Telling the police officer, F you need a warrant. Who the F are you? Is that along the lines of being a better person? Is that
No,
how
Your Honor.
Hold on, I'm not done with my question.
Sorry.
Is that showing that you're making amends to other people, to society, to police officers for your lengthy criminal history in the past? Is that what you're telling me?
No, Your Honor.
What's it show me?
Shows the disrespect for the law.
What do you think I should do today?
Put me in jail for 93 days.
Timo gets his wish and is led off to the Oakland County Jail. At least now he has a real excuse for not completing garages. In Novi, Rob Wolchek, Fox 2 News.